This is from Anne-Marie. She says that she loves the podcast. She listens with her 7-month-old baby. That cannot be a good idea. And she says this to you, Carl. If you had children, what is the most important lesson you'd want to teach them?
I mean, in a way, if you sort of look after a kid too much, it doesn't learn that much. But if you let it learn by its mistakes, it'll probably grow up all right.
But there are some mistakes you can't afford it to make to learn from.
Yeah, driving a car the wrong way down a motorway.
Testing if the fire really is hot.
No, but say like the time...
Does broken glass really taste horrible? These are lessons you don't want it to learn from mistakes.
Yeah, you can tell them that.
Yeah,
but what I mean is, there's certain things that I just think there was a kid who grew up in our avenue, right, on the estate, who, when it was born, right, we kind of thought it's got no chance, this kid, because its man was a bit of a rumman. You know,
a rumman? Where's that?
No, just like, you know, she like going out and having a fag and like having a drink, and she's never at home. It's the one who had the horse in the house.
Sure.
Right? Which I don't want to go over.
Sure. It's old news.
It's out there, isn't it, if you want to find out about the horse in the house. But she had a kid, and everyone was pretty surprised when they saw it, because it was a good-looking kid. She was surprised, because, like, you know, the man wasn't that good-looking, the dad was a bit rough. But it came out, and she was showing it around the avenue, going, look at this I've had. And she was chuffed with it, because it's probably like one of the newest things she's ever had, because everything else was always sort of second hand and what have you. But suddenly she's got this brand new little baby, right? Anyway, as it grew up, right, those looks went.
Right.
And I'm not talking getting old, I'm talking by the age of about 3. It looked rough already, right? And all that just happened because that's the life it was in, right?
Yeah.
So like it had like a patchy head. Its hair.
It had a patchy head.
A patchy head. It's just sort of.
It wasn't a North American Indian. What do you mean, a patchy head?
Just his hair was patchy. He used to chase sort of cars and stuff.
Chase cars. Sorry. What do you mean?
That's what he did for his.
Sorry, did she let it get raised by wolves?
No. But all I'm saying is that at the end of the day, what is it that makes a person? Do you know what I mean? Now, I don't know what state he's in now, but maybe he learned all his mistakes by the age of 4. I'm guessing he's not chasing cars now, but at least he's done it.
I'm guessing he is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? At least you can go, yeah, I've been there, done that, and you don't go back to it, and you can get away with doing dafter things when you're a kid, can't you? I nearly killed a man once, right?
Okay, right.
That time when I was in Wales, and I was having a walk with my dad on the cliffs and that, and I just picked up a big rock, right? Chucked it off the edge, and as I chucked it off the edge, I noticed a fella was walking down below.
Jeez.
And I missed his head by like inches. Now, I've never chucked a rock off a bridge or like off a cliff or anything.
And it only took one man to almost lose his life for you to learn that lesson.
Yeah, but that's how you learn your lessons,
yeah.
isn't it?
See, a lot of people would have said that maybe your dad should have said, "Hey, Carl, what are you doing?"
No, but he didn't know I was doing it. I didn't say I'm going to chuck this off here. I just picked it up and chucked it. And like, as I let go of it, I noticed a fella was down there. You live and you learn. That's a little mantra. Right?
All right.
You live
Okay.
and you learn. So the woman who's had the kid, sort of look after it, feed it, make sure it's got shoes and that, but let it roam about.
That's great.
There's the advice for you, Anne-Marie.
I love that.
Good luck. Just let your 7-month-old baby roam about. Carl, a lot of people are absolutely fascinated to find out how you met Suzanne, your girlfriend of how long?
Ages.
Yeah. And they can't comprehend how, well, I suppose that there's any woman out there.
Well, there's someone for everyone, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's always my thing. And it's reassuring, I think. You know, we chatted about the face transplants and that. You know, there's a face for everyone.
It's philosophy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really unbelievable.
No, there is someone for everyone, no matter what condition you're in or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I read on the email, someone emailed in an old Chinese proverb. It's something about everything, no matter what it is, has got one talent. And that's the same way in a relationship, isn't it? That everyone, you know, there's always someone out there. And that I like the Chinese. There's another Chinese proverb that I learned on an email.
Go on.
He who cuts the wood up warms himself twice.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then someone sent in that one about too many Chinese cooks spoil the broth.
What? Well, why is? Well, that's. I don't know. I don't know who slipped the word Chinese in there, but I heard it as too many cooks.
Well, it was just all sort of Chinese proverbs and that.
One of my favourite on the same subject is a camel is a horse designed by committee.
What do you mean?
Well, it's having a go at the camel, and it shouldn't. But it's just, it's just a metaphor. And if you wanted to design a horse and you had that vision, but you let 12 people in a room have their say, it wouldn't come out as you wanted it to do, and it wouldn't be as good. A vision is more perfect than committee, because everyone having their say, it becomes anodyne, it becomes compromised. Whereas the best things you can do is have an idea and have a vision and auteur that.
Rick, can I just say now, I can tell from his look that he's thinking, which committee designed the camel?
Well, I'd say, why would you request the ump bit? Because that's just going to get in the way, isn't it? I've always said that about a lot of animals. It's like we've doubled up on a lot of them. We've chatted about elephants and mammoths, one or the other. And that's the same with a camel. I'd have that up there as what they're doing. They were good years ago in the Jesus times and that. Don't need them now. You know what I mean? We've moved on.
Well, not people who use camels to cross deserts.
What other?
Bedouin communities.
I'm going to throw some animals at you, and you tell how you'd have improved them if you'd have been designing them. Okay? Mm-hmm. The octopus.
So I can now go back. I can look at them and go, "What are they doing?"
And where have they gone wrong? What's up with you? How could you improve it? Like the camel, you'd go lose the amp.
I'd probably give it a bit more of a body. Cut down on the arms. And give it some bones, because I don't understand all this. Getting in a jar is good. When does it want to get in a jar? It says...
Well, it only wants to get in a jar according to your stories.
No, but there's something that says it can get in a jar because it hasn't got any bones, but I don't know why it'd want to do that in the first place.
Easy.
I can't even begin to answer that. Once again, you've claimed that you've read that they like to get in jars. I mean, how do they know that octopus like to get in jars?
Oh, God, I love it. You can improve on an octopus. Millions and millions of years of evolution, making it perfect for its surroundings. Okay, another animal for you then, Carl.
Giraffe?
What are they adding to the world? What are they doing?
Well, it's not about what they add to the world,
No, but
is
I thought that's what everything's about. It's about things are here for a reason.
The reason they're here is because they didn't die. That's it.
No, but there seem to be a lot of animals that are like...
Do you think there's a lot of cheating? Is that what you're saying? There's
I'm just saying there just seems to be a lot of doubling up.
Yeah, so you'd get it down to like 8 animals that represented all of it. So okay, who would get in your team? You can choose 8 animals.
This is what I'm saying. If I was Noah, I would have gone like, hang on a minute. I've just seen something that looks a bit like this. Let it drown and have a clear out. But he didn't. He was messing about saving everything.
He was instructed by God to save everything, to be fair to him.
Yeah, but if he's been given that job, for me, he's sort of manager of that job.
So you believe
with
Noah
management
as well? You believe Noah happened as well, and he built a boat big enough to catch 2 of every species. You actually believe that as fact, do you?
Well, it's out there in book form.
Brilliant.
All right.
We haven't answered the question that we started with. How did you meet Suzanne?
Just at work.
Thanks.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey!
There was this airline, and it's having a lot of problems, and a lot of
pilots too tall?
Yeah, the cabin was so tiny.
Only bananas were allowed in the cockpit for fuel.
Anyway, there was a lot of strikes going on, right?
Sure.
Because I don't know what it was about. It was over money or whatever.
Yes.
And
get something that doesn't need money.
Yeah, but
But what else could you pay something in, Rick? I mean,
peanuts.
Peanuts or fruit, yeah.
So anyway, the boss of the airline, he had like one pilot who he could trust, right? And that was his son.
Right.
But the problem is with a lot of these planes, you need 2 pilots.
Of course you do.
And he's like, if only I had 2 sons. But he didn't. There's no point harping on about it. Right?
Sure.
He runs an airline?
Who runs an airline, yeah.
But how many pilots are there? Because there must be loads.
No, there's loads, but the problem is a lot of them are going on strike.
Oh.
And each week you can see that we're struggling here.
But how can they just close it down?
No,
Anyway,
you can't do that,
no,
Rick.
I can't.
Of course you
It's
can't.
costing
do
him a
that.
fortune if he closes it down.
Yeah, but what, one plane's not going to make a difference in an airline, is it?
No, it's all the
It's all
planes.
the planes, mate.
So the son, he's flying the planes and that. He's getting worried for his dad because of his business. It's falling
Sure.
apart. He's like, anyway, listen,
Well, one plane won't make any difference.
don't worry about it. We've found someone who you can work with. He said he's staying over near the sort of quarantine area where all the animals are kept
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
right, okay.
They won't be looking in there. They won't bother.
No.
So he's like, all right.
But there's no animal that could be a co-pilot, that's why.
I'll see you. He'll meet up with you in the cockpit.
He'll be out in the cockpit, yeah, sure.
So anyway, he gets in there. He meets them. At first, a little bit of a shock who he's going to be working with, but
Why?
he's thinking, as long as I can keep my dad's business alive, I can
Not with
keep
one
a job.
plane.
Everyone's happy. Then one day, what happens is a little bit of a problem.
Oh, dear.
Well, what
Oh.
happened is one woman who was on the plane got a bit peckish, right?
Right.
And said to the air hostess woman, said, "I'm a little bit peckish. Have you got any sort of nibbles and that?" She went, "No, I got a sandwich." She said, "I don't really want a sandwich. You want something, like the usual stuff that planes give out, just like a bag of nuts or something."
bag of
What,
nuts,
are they not giving those out yet?
So no, they don't give it for some reason. She was like, "Look, we've stopped giving out the nuts. We can get you a
That's
sandwich."
strange,
And the woman's
yeah.
like, "I don't want a sandwich. I just want some nuts." Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
A sandwich is quite a big meal and what have you. I just want
Yeah.
some nibbles, some nuts.
Well, that's not available.
So I
Done. End of story.
So she said, "Well, you're saying there aren't any nuts." She said, "But earlier I saw you put a tray outside the cockpit, right? It had a sandwich on it, 2 Cokes and 2 bags of nuts."
Right.
She said, "So you're saying there aren't any, but the pilot's getting
Well,
them."
aren't they now? That was the last 2 packets. Done.
No. So
Let's go home.
Well, I'll go and have a word with the pilot myself because you only put them out there a few minutes ago. He can't have eaten
You
them yet.
can't.
I want
You say
some.
you
I'm
cannot
going
go-
over.
no.
I know this is it. This
Yeah.
is. She was saying you cannot go over. She's going.
No.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm going to go over because I feel like
you
I'm being
can't.
lied to.
No, you can't.
So she goes, starts,
No,
and,
there's
and
no
the
way.
pilot can
Well, they
hear all
can't get
this
in anyway.
chat about the nuts and what have you, and he's thinking, what's going on out there?
Yeah.
He opens the door.
Yeah.
She gets a glance in. The monkey sat there with headphones.
Fucking bollocks.